Hello, hello. It's Keita Williams, founder and chief strategist of Success Bully. Had to make sure my mic was on. Founder and chief strategist of Success Bully. Success Bully is an elite accountability practice, so that makes me your personal professional butt kicker. So excited to be here. So excited to be yelling on the internet once again. Happy Monday. Happy Juneteenth if you are observing. I, of course, am celebrating all the roads that have been paved for me by my ancestors, and I am their wildest dreams. So I hope that you are doing the same, that you are out. If you have the day off, that you are out serving and that you are enjoying yourself. If you are working today, I hope that you are showing up as your authentic self. So before I get into why I'm yelling on the internet, I do want to remind you that this is a safe space. And this community is dedicated to our part time coaches and consultants, or maybe you are full time and just early on in your practice, and you are looking to add 20 new clients in 12 months or less. 20 new clients to your roster in 12 months or less. That's what we want to make sure that we are serving at the highest level for you in this community, but also that you're getting some value out of this, that this isn't just somewhere to hang out, it's not just somewhere to comment. I hope that you the things that we share with you are snackable and executable, right? So if you ever find yourself stuck, know that you may be in business for yourself, but you are not by yourself. You can reach out to any one of our concierges. Everyone in this community has a personal concierge. So if your first name begins with the letters A through M, Sai is your concierge. If your first name begins with the letters N through Z, then Vanessa is your concierge. And of course, you can always friend request me and send me a message directly, or grab some time at successbully.com/call. Now, why we're gathered here today is just something that like has come up in this community quite a bit, that we're seeing a lot of when we ask in the community what your challenges are, what are some of those things that are standing in your way, that you feel like are either you don't know how to do them, or you find them challenging, or they take up too much bandwidth. And one of the things, besides getting clients, which we're going to continue to talk about that, we have a whole formula to help you get clients when you join the Exit Strategy Academy, our flagship coaching program. But when it comes to the marketing elements, and specifically when we call that owned media. Now, owned media are the things that you generate, the things that I don't, you, for lack of a better term, you own. While we don't own social media platforms, you do own the content that you're putting out there. Whereas earned media, earned media is like what you would get like if a magazine, local magazine covers you, or you appear on the news. It's editorial. Um, you have to earn it in some aspects, and even advertising falls under that earned space, right? So owned media, that's what we generate, what we put out there. Now I want to just give you a really simple approach, especially if you're an army of one right now. Now I know you may be saying, Keita, what you're telling us right now is counterintuitive to what you're currently doing. I also have a team of 7, right? So now if you are part-time in your business, or you're just kind of getting started, or maybe you've been in it a while, but it's still just you. It's still just you. I want to simplify some things for you when it comes to content, right? So whether that's your newsletter, whether that's your social media, for this intents purposes, I really want us to focus on social media. But here are just some really simple, we call it the O.M.G. So this is just a really simple way to kind of think through your content. And so why is this important? Let's start with that piece. Why is this important? So in some cases, while it may take a while for your content, whether it's a blog, whether it is your social media platforms, whether it's your newsletter, it may take a while before there's an actual ROI on it, where you can connect um, new clients to posting, connect new clients to your podcast, connect new clients there. There's a while before there's an actual conversion. And so, like, our email efforts last week netted us a few clients, right? We've also been doing this 5 years, more 5.5 years, right? And so I want to assure you that as you're getting started, if your content converts to something meaningful for you in the way of clients and revenue, congratulations. I want to manage your expectations that it may take a little while. You got to stick with it. You got to be consistent. You got to add value for a while before you actually see that conversion. Now, if you are a marketing guru, if you are a social media guru, if you are already an influencer, your timeline may be shorter, but I just want to manage expectations because I think that as a newer entrepreneur, we invest all this time in things that don't move the needle right away, that they're the long game and not the short game, right? And so, why it's important, why you should still get involved, why you still should put yourself out there is that, for better or for worse, it shows that your lights are on. It shows that you're open for business. So if you go weeks and weeks between posting, it shows that are they still in business? Like, what's going on? The last time they updated anything, the last time they updated LinkedIn was in 2020, right? So it does show that the lights are on. It shows that you're open for business. Also, it gives you an opportunity to position yourself as an expert. So, especially in service-based businesses, in the self-development space, as a consultant, you want to show that you have a level of expertise and mastery of who of the what you what you what you have for your ideal client, right? So we want to show that we are experts, that that we have some little mastery, that we are thought leaders. So if you what you do is counterintuitive to what the status quo is, we want to share that as well. And similar to what we do in this Facebook group, this is an opportunity for us to engage our ideal client, right? We serve part-time coaches and consultants who want to leave corporate by helping them get 20 clients in 12 months or less. And so this community is designed so that we can have a more intimate conversation with our ideal client. And not for nothing, it's free. So before you invest in big marketing budgets, before you hire agencies, before you outsource, this is um, social media and even your newsletter. If you get like a MailChimp, I think MailChimp is free under so many contacts, it's it's accessible. So this is why it's important, because like you get an opportunity to put yourself out there to shine like the star that you are. You get an opportunity to start a conversation or continue a conversation with your ideal client. And more importantly, it shows that the open sign is on, right? And so just putting that out there on why it's important. But I also want you to consider these things. I remember when I first started, I would spend hours and hours crafting the perfect tweet, hours crafting a Facebook post, all this combing through images so that I had the best Instagram. And I would spend all this time on it and complexity because every platform has a different way that you need to communicate and different nuances and different hashtags and different ways to trick the algorithm. And I would spend all of this time and be heartbroken when I didn't get a single like. Or if people found pictures of me smiling more engaging than what I actually had to say, right? And so I want you to consider keeping it simple, right? Keeping it simple. I also want you to wrap your arms around the fact that this may take it takes consistency. It takes consistency to really move the needle in this space, but also that this is a great way to make it your own. You have an opportunity to make it your own. You have an opportunity to test and iterate. I think the important thing, um, every one of the important things to remember with all of this, the posting on social media and all the content and all of that stuff, look at your metrics. Numbers don't lie. And with your emails, look at your open rates. With look at the whatever you did the last couple weeks. What were your best posts? Why were they great? Why were people commenting on it? What was so different about that post? Right? And be dare to fail. Dare to fail. But when you find something that works, duplicate what works. So some of this we have to kind of test and iterate. So, my OMG approach, especially if you're a one person show, it's just you and a dream right now. The first thing I want you to consider is one platform. And like I said, this is a little counterintuitive because we're everywhere right now, but also I have a team of 7. If you're a one person show, choose one platform. Choose one platform. So, like, we were talking about, and you can go back and watch this. I think it's pinned at the top. We talked about the 3 things you actually need in your business to scale your business, and that's ideal client, irresistible offer, and getting in front of your ideal client consistently. When you know your ideal client intimately, and you know their needs, you know their hopes, their dreams, you know where they get their news, you know where they're hanging out, you know what platform makes the most sense for them. You know the platform that makes the most sense. You know where they're hanging out. You know where they get their information. If you're a career coach, it might not make sense for you to be hanging out on Instagram, right? Or here's one that's counterintuitive. We have an amazing client that's a stylist for plus size women. Her clients are full figured public figures. She's been doing more on LinkedIn because that's where that ideal client is and has been crushing it, right? So you may want to consider going against what everyone else in your industry is doing, right? But just pick one to start with because the space, the universe of content platforms, the universe of social media platforms will be available to you. So you can add more as you go. But to start with, to keep things simple, go go to the pond with the fish. Go to the pond with the fish. So where your ideal client is getting their information, where your ideal client is it's most sticky for them, where they're interacting the most. That is the platform that I would prioritize. That I would start with that one platform, right? And so one platform, that's the O and OMG content, right? One platform, right? This your engagement, your posting, follow the client, go to the pond with the fish. And it's so much easier to engage. It's so much easier to be thoughtful. It's so much easier to speak directly to that ideal client's needs, wants, desires, aspirations, pain points, whatever you want to call it. It's so much easier to do that on one platform to do it well on one platform than to do a really crappy job on 4. I'd rather you do really well on one platform than to do a half baked job on multiple platforms. So where are your clients? Where are your ideal clients? Go there. Pick one to start with. Know that you can always add later. You can always add later. You can engage later. One platform. I think if you are currently on a bunch of platforms right now, look at where you have the highest engagement. Look where people are talking with you, and then really think: is this if the people that are really connecting with me? Are they my ideal client? Is this where I need to pay attention, or is it over here? And pick one. You can always circle back to the others later. Just pick one. If you already got if you got the Twitter, the Facebook, the Instagram, if I could do it all over again, I would just have one. And even right now, I really want one. But we can't necessarily shut the rest down right now. That's just where we're at right now. And so pick one. Pick one. Pick one. The second thing, the M in OMG, is manageable cadence. Manageable cadence. Because, like I said, consistency is key here. Consistency. You will find that if you look at review your metrics, if you look at what's working, what are people leaning in towards, you can refine the actual what you talk about, and you can refine how you approach it over time because the data will tell you, right? You'll figure out what you need to do and pivot and that sort of thing. But to start with, pick a cadence that is something you can commit to. Now remember, if you're one of those people that posts every day and has 75 tiles on your stories, this is going to be a lot easier for you. But if you're just getting started, if you're one person and this always continually drop the ball here, maybe commit to one post a week for the next 3 months, or maybe two posts a week, or maybe it's one post and three thoughtful comments on somebody else's post, right? Because that raises visibility too, commenting, right? So again, this whole universe is available to you. You can increase your frequency over time, or when you outsource it, you can increase that frequency. But it's going to take time to build the muscle and capacity. So approach this like any other habit. So like if you were training for a marathon, you wouldn't go outside right now and run 27 miles. Was it 27? Whatever. Somebody correct me on what a marathon is, right? You would train. You would do a little bit every day. You would do a little bit over time. So the same thing with your social media platform. Start with one a week for a few weeks. Then go to two. Then go to three. And then look at what the data is telling you. Does it matter? Are you getting more engagement if you post more often? I know people will tell you that, but it makes a difference for your business. You got to figure out what works for your business, right? But commit to something you can stick to. And like, as somebody who posted on every platform every day of the week that I could possibly muster, I'm going to tell you it is quality over quantity, right? So pick something that works for you. And maybe you don't have to write everything yourself. Maybe it's one original piece of content from you, and maybe it's sharing an article that you read and your thoughts on that article, or sharing somebody else's work and how it made you feel, or an observation, right? Or sharing a client win, sharing some successes your clients are seeing. So you don't have to necessarily sit down and be oh so thoughtful and write all these sweeping prose, right? You can you can take your time and just be thoughtful and post twice a week. Maybe post once a week and share something, right? And remember, I think that when we're thinking about this manageable cadence, I want to flag for you to when you have one platform, right? And you're going for that manageable cadence, you can understand the nuances of that one platform better and more deep and have a deeper understanding of how to show up on that platform when you're focused on one. Because a lot of this is about the algorithm, right? And so if you're trying to trick five different algorithms, you're probably not going to do that really well because you are not a social media agency, right? You are not an influencer yet. But if you have one, then you can understand, okay, well, I need to do this. I need to tag somebody here. I need to respond to all my comments. It's not a successful post on this particular platform if I don't have a comment in the first hour. There are all these nuances that you can understand better if it's one platform and you have manageable output, right? You can really start seeing what's bubbling up because some of it is frequency for some platforms, and then others, it's about engagement. But you have to pick one and understand it. So, whatever platform your clients are showing up on, do some research on what's working. Usually, when a one of the social media platforms launches a new feature, they prioritize content using that new feature. So whether it's a story or or what's the new one? The little snippets on YouTube has the little snippet things now. Um, Whatever newest feature for the platform, they tend to prioritize that. So you should lean into that new feature, right? But you don't have to know that for every platform if you just pick one. You can pay attention to the trends. You can read up on it. You can look at who else is who else is really kicking ass on that platform. Success leaves clues. You can look at some of the stuff that they've done that's done really well and maybe implement some of those same things into your content, right? One platform, manageable cadence. Okay. So I don't want you stressing out, staying up all night and trying to figure out how to tweet when you haven't tweeted at all or trying to learn choreography on TikTok. Now I know TikTok has more than just dances, but you like if that's not where your ideal client is, there's no reason for you to be on TikTok other than the pure enjoyment of it, right? And that goes to your recreational time, right? And then finally, when you're thinking about what you're going to post as your original content, user generated content that you create, I want you to think of it from the space of gifting. So if you were going to gift your ideal client with a piece of know-how or with a piece an insight that could change the way they view themselves or their business, what would that gift be? And so again, if you know that ideal client very well and you have a very intimate relationship with that ideal client, you know their pain points, you know their aspirations, you know where they want to be. Like I know everyone in this group wants to leave their corporate jobs to work in their practice full time, right? So what are some of the frequently asked questions? What are your ideal client? What are their frequently asked questions? What are their biggest challenges? What scenarios are their daily lives about? So this OMG content came out of the questions that we consistently get in the group, but also understanding y'all work full time and you want to transition out. So I want your workload to be lighter in the sense of as you're building, let's pick one and do that really well so you can really focus on connecting one on one with your ideal client, booking those consultation calls, getting proposals out, and closing the deal. And you can get fancier when you have support, right? So think about that ideal client. What's coming up for them, right? What are the challenges? What are those aspirations? So, like, what is it like to resign from your job? How much runway do you need to give yourself? What do the numbers look like? These are all things that we have created content around. But how to find your freedom number, how uh, to kind of live in a space of a yes and that you don't necessarily have to quit your full-time job to transition out. Maybe you need to cut back your hours, right? So this is all stuff that we've been creating to gift our ideal client. Now, I will say that the what I like to do is identify the what for the client. If they want to know the how and the specifics and the step by step to execute on it, that's when you need to work with us as a coach. That's when you need to partner with the Success Bully team. If you want to know the how, if you want the breakdown, that's what coaching is for. If you want the high level to just focus you, that's what my content is. That's my gift to you. This is my gift to you. I gave you some insight on picking one platform, cadence, and content. I didn't teach you how to write nothing. I didn't tell you the best time to post, right? So think about what you can gift your ideal client. So when we're thinking that OMG to kind of simplify things, it's one platform, it's a manageable cadence, so a manageable posting schedule. And then, of course, there's the gift. What are you gifting your ideal client? What piece of knowledge or encouragement? Sometimes it's not necessarily a tip for them to execute on. Maybe it's just some words of encouragement that apply to their needs and where they are. Maybe it's a word of caution that resonates with where they are and where they aspire to be, right? So it could be a tip, it could be encouragement, it could be insights, but it's a gift from you to your ideal client. And when you're thinking about it as a gift, right? Um, that you are giving of yourself, that you're sharing your expertise, you're impacting lives, you're helping people that may not be in the space to um who may not have the resources to work with you right this second, but you're still making an impact. That's what I want you to think about when it comes to your content. That this is your gift. And we want to be able to give from a space of abundance and not a space of obligation. So if you're feeling like this is one more thing to do and and you feel obligated to show up, maybe you're trying to post too much. Maybe just do twice a week. You don't have to go live every day, right? So I want you to just kind of think about that. The OMG, one platform, manageable cadence, a gift that you give to your clients. They're gifting your ideal clients, your potential clients, your prospects. It's a gift. Okay. So if you have any additional questions about that, go ahead and reach out. We also, I'm spilling the beans. Sorry if I'm spilling the beans. We have a special workbook that we're going to be sharing with you all later this week to help you with your content planning for Q3. Now, if you want to get an advanced copy, reach out to your personal concierge. Again, if your first name begins with the letters A through M, Sai is your personal concierge. If your first name begins with the letters N through Z, Vanessa is your personal concierge. Just raise your hand if you want to get your hands on the worksheet that'll help you kind of implement what we just discussed. Um, you can always, I can never leave this call without extending an invitation. If you want to hear more about what we do here in terms of working with the Successfully team to get those 20 clients in 12 months or less, book a strategy call at successfully.com/call to see if you're a good fit for the program because we don't take everybody. Um, but if you also are stuck with how to show up and use content to power your business forward, reach out. We're here to serve, 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 serve. So once again, I am Keita Williams, founder and chief strategist of Successfully. Let's get after it.